Dream Team, it's your boy D Neil back with another reaction video, guys, and here we are with QI David Mitchell's best moments. Before we dive in, gotta dive into that subscribe button, ring notification bell, get the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested, and if you got a favorite video suggestion, drop it in the comment section. Oh my god!
What mustn't you feed hedgehogs?
Bread and milk.
Exactly, bread and milk is a bad idea. People do it gives them diarrhea and they dry out.
Feed bread and milk to any mammal, including humans.
But there is a Radio 4 show that do...
come off it.
No,
You shouldn't feed humans bread and milk.
No, not really.
What do you mean, not really? It's absolutely demonstrably fine.
No, it's not very good for you.
Well, it's fine.
Bread and butter
We've been
pudding.
drinking milk and eating bread for ages. Why is it suddenly a massive problem? Oh,
Yeah.
no, actually, we're supposed to live till we're 250. But no, we eat bread and milk all the time. We barely live past 98. It's ridiculous. Of course we're supposed to eat bread and milk. Not just bread and milk.
Oh, poor Alan. Poor Alan. It's not... You shake hands and be friends.
Sorry,
now.
Alan.
Don't clean
Hey, David Mitchell, he gotta go on his rants. David gotta go on his rants. When he don't agree with something, gotta let it be known.
Poor Alan. It's not... You shake hands and be friends.
Sorry,
now.
Alan.
Don't clean a teapot.
You don't clean a teapot,
You should never
David.
clean a teapot.
No.
Under no circumstance. Okay, I'm
Used
gonna,
as a teapot.
You came in and couldn't find a loo one night.
But I sense a hypothetical situation.
This is not a hypothetical situation. I've only ever used a teapot for tea. But occasionally, if you make sort of tea in a teapot once in a blue moon when you can be bothered in a vague attempt to seem more civilized than you actually are, you then sort of you've still got a bit of tea in
you
it.
left
some
it to
tea
go.
Oh, yeah, you
mold,
rinse it
leave
out.
No, you don't rinse it out because
it
you forget,
stains.
because immediately you're tired of being civilized and you want to go to the pub. You leave it for weeks and months, and then when you have a look in it, it's gone disgustingly mouldy.
And it's talking to you.
And at that point, the flavour that you would get if you didn't wash it from your next cup of tea is, if anything, too characterful. The thing that seems unfair to me is the number of people who are expected to pretend they care about jobs they don't care about. You should be allowed to say, look, I'm fulfilling my contract. You can't put in the contract, also you have to seem like you give a shit.
Facts!
That's expecting too much. Yeah. That's why I really like the fact that we live in a country with such poor customer service. This is a horrible train, you're tearing tickets. Of course you're in an awful mood.
Now that you put it like that, I shall feel better about it. You're right. Why have a cheesy grin on your face if you are working in an awful supermarket?
It's the sign either of a liar or a moron.
Yeah.
You know what? I completely agree with David on that one. I completely agree with David on that point. You know, like, he said, what matters is that you're doing your job. You shouldn't have to give a crap about it. It shouldn't be in your contract that you have to care about it. No, that's why I like that we live in a country with such poor customer service. I love this.
Awful supermarket.
It's the sign either of a liar or a moron.
Yeah.
You know when you find a bee and it's crawling on its last legs,
I always rescue them.
you give it honey. It's the only thing they eat. Makes sense when you think about it.
Don't they make
True, though,
honey?
that a bee in his entire lifetime makes an absolutely tiny amount of honey overall. I mean, just a
But there's just
minute
lots
amount
of
of
them,
honey.
yeah.
So you don't have to give much rehabilitating honey to this one bee before the nation, the world, is making a net
diabetic.
loss. I mean, it's useless. If you only get 1 teaspoon of honey from a whole bee's lifetime, and every time we have to get it back on its feet, it takes a teaspoon and a half, suddenly there's no honey at all.
This is more honey than this bee has seen in its life.
Yeah, it's just, you're insulting it. Apart from anything else. It's like showing a very tired mason a whole cathedral.
Very interesting and surprising, because almost everybody thinks that vertical stripes make people look slimmer. In fact, in prisons, sometimes women have asked for vertical rather than horizontal stripes.
Really?
So that they look leaner, or they think they'll look leaner. But it turns out, research from a man called Dr. Peter Thompson of York University has discovered that the large majority think the one in the vertical stripe is larger than the one in the horizontal stripe when they are the same size.
Surely this shows, actually, that it makes no real difference at all. Because we're determining whether wearing vertical or horizontal stripes makes you look thinner.
Yeah.
And you can't tell by looking. You have to do research. You have to do research with hundreds and hundreds of people. Basically, people look as fat or thin as they are.
To differ.
I have a friend who's quite short, and he likes to wear vertical stripes because they make him look taller.
Only when he's not standing next to anyone. Make him look taller than a taller man. It's all relative. He'll just say, well, there's a normal sized man next to an enormous man. Oh, thank God, he's taking his striped shirt off. It's actually a tiny man next to a normal man.
Angry logic, David.
I think it just alternates, doesn't it? For ages you think, OK, vertical stripes make people look thinner. Then you say, oh, she's wearing vertical stripes, therefore she must be fatter than she looks. Therefore you start thinking, oh, she looks fatter because she's wearing vertical stripes. So suddenly horizontal stripes start making you look thin. Because, oh, she must be thin, otherwise she'd never dare wear horizontal stripes. Then they go, oh, no, horizontal stripes make you look thinner. Oh, she must be fat, she's wearing horizontal.
Bro, this man David be going off into these rants so much. They're good rants. I'm not complaining. I love his rants. But my boy David, yeah, it's like he goes into a rabbit hole during this rant and he keeps going. I love it.
What would you use one of these for?
What would I use it for, or what is it meant for?
Oh, isn't this for fish? Getting things out of fish.
Ah, interesting thought.
On the Swiss Army knife, there's one for scooping out a fish eye.
They're not as difficult to get out, the eye of a fish, are they? They're pretty squidgy, unless the fish is still alive. Blink, which is the main eye defence. If you're ever trying to get the eye out of a fish and it blinks, it may be a lion.
Which is correct. Of these grocers, or grocers? It's grocers apostrophe.
One of the requirements of being a sign printing company is having a basic knowledge of where an apostrophe goes.
They know, I'm convinced. All sign writing companies know, for example, how to spell accommodation. They must. I reckon when they say, OK, we're doing a sign for your guest house, would you like our normal service, or would you like our deluxe gold 5 times the price service? Well, we'll check your spelling for you. And everyone goes, no, it's all right, I'm not going to pay 5 times as much for you to check the spelling. They go, OK. Okay, we're gonna paint the word accommodation the way you've put it there, are we? In the knowledge that they'll have to get called back all the sooner when the people finally realise they've got it wrong. It's every time you see accommodation properly painted and misspelt, the sign writer knew. It was bloody minded. He's putting it out there wrong, knowing he'd get a repeat gig all
You
the
can see
time.
how long he's been looking for a flat.
When was the First World War first named as such?
The outbreak, the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand.
You think they called it the First World War straight
Before
away?
it started.
It would be an act of a pessimist to call it the First World War that early, surely. It's going to be some point
No.
after 1939, isn't it?
A realist, surely.
So
There's going to be more of these.
Yeah.
At what point?
Excuse me, I think what I said, people in the box, is after 1939, which may contain 1939, but does not mean it.
No, well...
They said we that's cool, David. You want to go into these rants? Whenever you're wrong, we're gonna correct you.
1939 and after the Second World War are not synonymous. Now, this is just giving you time to type. Why don't you just type, Mitchell is a cop?
I wouldn't put it past them. And finally, how many brains did the man with 2 brains have?
2.
Yeah.
Yes. That's brilliant. Yeah, he's wise enough to have spotted double bluff.
It's just the technique of the bully. You go, you hit us. And then you go, oh, what do you think I was going to hit you? I'm just trying to cute.
Exactly what we do.
I love David Mitchell, bro. He's absolutely hilarious. That's all we got for this one. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. You guys got I already told you. I love talking to you guys. It's your boy D. Out.